Okay, so now that we've done the fun part so far, which is making the beat, recording, editing everything down, now we can get into mixing. So mixing is kind of like cooking. When you cooking, you put the vegetables in one bowl, you put the meat in a separate bowl, and then you got everything else after that, and now you're blending it all together to get to the final dish. So that's what mixing kind of is like. We're gonna put all these tracks, all these sounds together into a finished product, a finished meal and everything like that. Okay, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna make another session file, and you pay attention. This is a marathon, not a sprint. We're separating everything to make it easier for us. We don't want no confusion. Once we get into the vibe, we don't want to kill that vibe. Like Kendrick Lamar said, "Don't kill my vibe." You feel me? So that's what you got to do when you're doing something like this. All right, we got a separate session file, okay? It's called mixing session. The sample rate, pay attention, is 48 hertz, and then the bit depth is 24. It's still in that same, folder. So let's create. Now that we're gonna be creating everything, a new session file, we're starting from complete scratch. From complete step one, the blank, the basics. Okay, cool. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna get all the routing and everything. It's kind of like when you're in a car. Your car has a bunch of features in it, a bunch of stuff, like the rear windshield wiper and, the rear side windows and all that stuff, the front light, the back light. You can control all that stuff in your car through only, the dashboard, the front end. So that's what we're gonna be making right now. The very first thing, most importantly, is creating a master fader, yeah? So with the master fader, that's kind of like the daddy of all the tracks, pretty much. All the tracks are pretty much, kind of coming through the master fader and everything like that. So we're just making a master fader right now, okay, like this. And it's a stereo master fader. Make sure it's stereo. And there it goes, the master fader, okay? And then after that, we're gonna be making a couple of auxiliary sends or buses. So pretty much with the buses, it's kind of just like what a bus is, where a school bus has a bunch of children all stuffed up inside of it. An auxiliary bus has a bunch of tracks stuffed up inside of it, pretty much. So it's very good for maybe, just doing macro moves, like really big moves. Sometimes you have everything sounding right, but then you got to do a situation where, you gotta make a big move. You know what I mean? Maybe all of the vocals are too loud, but you don't want to have to go and rebalance the vocals. That's why we're making something like the auxiliary bus. So we've created 4 auxiliary buses so far. The first auxiliary bus that I usually love to make and that I would recommend you to make is going to be none other than the mix bus. So the mix bus is kind of like another master fader, kind of like that half brother of the master fader, but not really. So with this first master fader right here, this is like the pre-fader and this is the post-fader. So that's not really relevant for what we're gonna be doing, but just to let you know, one is pre-fader, one is post-fader. So all the tracks are gonna be dumping into this one, but this one is kind of like a situation where you can control what's going into here. And we'll see why. Okay, cool. So the next aux that we're gonna make, the next bus with bad ad jits that we're gonna make is gonna be the all music bus. Okay, so this is where you're gonna like all the actual instrumentals, the actual sounds of the beat will go. And then after that, we're gonna be making the next one, which is gonna be all drums bus, pretty much. Okay, I hope you guys can see this. I'm pretty sure you can, but it's gonna be all the drum bus. So all the 808, maybe the 808 might go there, maybe it might not. So that was something I'll be talking about a little bit later. But okay, after that we'll have all drums, and then last thing we will have all vocals. So we're putting ourselves in a position to win pretty much, because now, once we do all the nitty small moves, we can make the big moves right here. Usually I might keep these on 0. I don't touch them until like the very end of the song, where I might be like, okay, damn, I got the drums knocking, but maybe I want a little bit more music. So rather than having to play with all the music trying to get it up, I can just do it through one fader. So that's why you would use something like buses. All right, cool. And let's actually color code these real fast, because these are buses. I'm actually gonna make them black, like a black in the bus. And this one, I'm gonna make it a different type of, I'll make it red again. All right, so yeah, let's start actually doing some of the routing, some of the IO while I talk about this. So yeah, the mix bus, you would usually create like a send or whatever. You create an IO inside of your DAW. So if you don't know how to do that, you'd pick like any one of blank of these, and you would pretty much rename it and everything like that. So even with my master fader, I like to switch it over to mix bus, because like how I said previously, you can just use this fader to drive your whole mix into to the tube bus. You feel me? So that's a pretty important thing to talk about, because sometimes when you're mixing, you might be slamming your bus compressor a little too hard. If we decide to use a bus compressor or even a limiter, and we feel like that limiter, we running into that brick wall too hard, like kind of like a car accident or something like that, what we can do is we can slow down the car before it hits the wall, which is the brick wall limiter. We can slow it down from having such a big impact. Now I'm gonna actually be doing like the other types of routing and stuff like that. But before I do that, let's actually pull in our stems and everything like that. So let me get this really quick right here. And what you want to do too, that I forgot to mention, is you also want to label this bit down with the tempo of the music. So we remember our tempo to be, what was it, 118? All right, so the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna import the beat stems. So like how we know from before, song files, beat stems, and we're gonna highlight all of this and bring it in there. So I'm gonna do add all, and we're gonna click OK, and it's gonna say, do you wanna make a new track or a clip list? And we're just gonna add everything in there, bam. So there we go. And then from here, all of this stuff is kind of like already labeled out and everything, luckily. So, and actually, let's just play a little bit of it while we do it. Let me know which way it is. Is love or hate? Is left or right? Is up or down? You gotta just tell me what it is. Yeah, I made up my mind, I just wanna make money. Yeah. Hated to love it, hated to love it. Grew up and bumping on my life was ugly, but now it's just lovely. I put my family first and never last. I don't even wanna think about the past. I put my family first and never last. I don't even wanna think about the past. Hey, yeah, I made up my mind, I just wanna make money. Hated to love it, hated to love it. Grew up and bumping on my life was ugly, but now it's just lovely. I put my family first and never last. I don't even wanna think about the past. I put my family first and never last. I don't even wanna think about the past. Yeah, I tried to plan on my life and it took a little turn for the worst that I wasn't expecting. Oh my God. I know that hated disease, only keep a little real one around me. I won't get infected. Only get a real one. Make it with you fake ass niggas, we ain't never come. Never. Tryna bring up my past and she want the old version. The old nigga. I don't give a fuck, yeah, like a goddamn virgin. Except for my old ways, I'm a new person. This life is short, so my money move virgin. I got a run it up, my challenge. Run it up. I got your bitch on my hit list. Let go. I got some racks on my wish list, some bands in my bridges. I seen that money add up in my family, just did a division. These niggas, they snitching. I made up my mind, I just wanna make money. Yeah. Hated to love it, hated to love it. Grew up and bumping on my life was ugly, but now it's just lovely. I put my family first and never last. I don't even wanna think about the past. I put my family first and never last. I don't even wanna think about the past. Hey, yeah, I made up my mind, I just wanna make money. Hated to love it, hated to love it. Grew up and bumping on my life was ugly, but now it's just lovely. I put my family first and never last. I don't even wanna think about the past. I put my family first and never last. I don't even wanna think about the past. Yeah, I tried to plan on my life and it took a little turn for the worst that I wasn't expecting. Oh my God. I know that hated disease, only keep a little real one around me. I won't get infected. Only get a real one. Make it with you fake ass niggas, we ain't never come. Never. Tryna bring up my past and she want the old version. The old nigga. I don't give a fuck, yeah, like a goddamn virgin. Except for my old ways, I'm a new person. This life is short, so my money move virgin. I got a run it up, my challenge. Run it up. I got your bitch on my hit list. Let go. I got some racks on my wish list, some bands in my bridges. I seen that money add up in my family, just did a division. These niggas, they snitching and squeeze like it was their religion. We call them Jehovah's Witness. At your door. They ain't wanna let me in, so I went ahead and kicked the door down. The door down. Practice with a bad bitch, young nigga. Really, I just want out that hold down. That hold down, come on, let go. He got person pressure, but it's really for the low now. Karma coming like a boomerang. It's gonna come around. Made up my mind, I just wanna make money. Hated to love it, hated to love it. Hated to love it. On my life was ugly, but now it's just lovely. But now it's my family first and never last. I don't even wanna think about the past. I put my family first and never last. I don't even wanna think about the past. Hey, yeah, I made up my mind, I just wanna make money. Hated to love it, hated to love it. Grew up and pumping on my life was ugly, but now it's just lovely. I put my family first and never last. I don't even wanna think about the past. I put my family first and never last. I don't even wanna think about the past. Yeah, I made up my mind, yeah. let go. Hey, 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 yeah. I made up my mind, I just wanna make money. Hated to love it, hated to love it. Grew up in pumping, know my life was ugly, but now it's just lovely. I put my family first and never last. I don't even wanna think about the past. I put my family first and never last. I don't even wanna think about the past. Hey, yeah, I made up my mind, I just wanna make money. Hated to love it, hated to love it. Grew up in pumping, know my life was ugly, but now it's just lovely. I put my family first and never last. I don't even wanna think about the past. I put my family first. Yeah, so you know, the musician inside of me just kind of took over right there, and I was just organizing and labeling everything like that. It's damn near difficult to talk while you do that at the same time. You know, like, that was like an organic moment where like the engineer inside of me just took over type shit. You feel me like that? So yeah, that's what I was doing. You know, I have these three, like these are like the things in the car, like the air conditioner, the rear view mirror, the front mirror. These are like the command center. And then you see how I ordered everything. I like to put the drums at the very tippity top. You know, sometimes when you export it in, it acts a little weird. So I have the drums first. Pretty much. Then I have the music. I have the drums, the music, and the vocals at the bottom. So yeah, after that, you know, we got the mix bus. All of these ones right here are all being routed to the mix bus. And yeah, at that point, we're pretty much ready to mix. We're gonna go into some more in-depth type of stuff, but this is kind of how I would start off a session, you know, organically just listening to the music. And as I'm listening to the music, I'm getting an idea of what I want to put in the song and all that stuff like that. I'm just organizing everything. But this is really simple though. You know, all of the drums go to all of the drums. All of the vocals, there was 3 of them, they go to all of the vocals, all of the music goes to all of the music. And this way, I'm making it a lot easier on myself to just work, so I don't gotta look where everything is at pretty much. All right, so I'm gonna see you guys in the next episode where we're gonna do our basic rough mix, getting our levels right, and getting this thing revved up, getting this engine moving. Let's go.